In outdoor advertising, there's this massive gap between a good idea and an idea that actually works out on the street. So today, we're going to dive into pre-flight testing. Think of it as the strategic discipline that closes that gap, making sure our creative really wins where it counts, out in the real world. So let's just kick things off with the one question that really keeps us all up at night in the out-of-home or OOH space. We pour so much effort, talent, and let's be honest, a ton of budget into our campaigns. But how do we really know it's going to work before we commit all that spend? Okay, so to even begin to answer that, we've got to get real about the world we're playing in. Outdoor media isn't a gallery. It's not some quiet, perfectly lit, controlled environment. By its very nature, it is an absolutely unforgiving canvas. And yeah, this slide, it just lays out that chaos perfectly. I mean, just think about it for a second. Our creative work is being seen at highway speeds, right? It's fighting a constant battle with every street sign, building, and every other ad out there. It has to somehow survive rain, blinding sun glare, and constantly changing light. And maybe most importantly, it's a medium of quick glances, not deep study. And that right there, that gets to the heart of the matter. In OOH, you don't get a second chance. If the message isn't crystal clear in that instant, it's just missed. The investment, the brilliant idea, the whole opportunity, poof, it all vanishes in a split second. Okay, so faced with this crazy, unforgiving canvas, how in the world do we actually get anything done effectively? Well, we need a framework that's built specifically for it. And that framework is pre-flight testing. All right, so what is pre-flight testing really? Let's be super clear here. This isn't about asking people if they like an ad. It's a rigorous, data-driven process. The whole idea is to simulate those chaotic, real-world conditions so that we can objectively measure how effective the creative is before it ever goes live. And the process itself? It's actually pretty straightforward when you break it down. First, you simulate the real world, the speed, the distance, that quick glance. Second, you measure how the creative performs against key objective metrics. And third, you analyze that data to figure out what's working and what's not. It's a system for validating creative. Simple as that. So when we say measure, what are we actually looking at? The metrics for outdoor ads have to be totally unique to the challenges of the medium. It's not about do you like this, it's about does this thing work? Okay, number one, without a doubt, is clarity. Is the main idea understood instantly? When you're on a highway, there's just no time to sit there and decode some clever metaphor. The message has to land right away with zero ambiguity. All right, next up, let's talk about hierarchy. A truly great outdoor ad is like a masterclass in visual organization. Does the design literally force the viewer's eye to the most important info first? Does it take them from the headline to the image to the brand in exactly the right order? And it has to do all of that in a blink. And then you've got the absolute nuts and bolts, readability. And this isn't just about picking a font, it's about how that typography works in context. Can you actually make out the words from 100 yards away in glaring sun while you're moving? I mean, you could have the most brilliant line of copy ever written, but if the color contrast is wrong, it's just useless visual noise. And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important metric, comprehension. This is the whole point, right? After that fleeting glance, does the person not only get the message, but also correctly remember the brand and what it's offering? If they can't, the ad just didn't do its job. Look, all of these things have to work together to be effective. Having a solid framework like this isn't just about what you do. It's also about what you avoid. And what we're avoiding is a huge pitfall in our industry, the total failure of those old-school, opinion-based creative reviews when it comes to outdoor advertising. I love this slide because it just draws such a clear line in the sand. On one side, you have the subjective review. That's the conference room meeting, right? It's all about personal opinions, biases, and debating aesthetics. It completely ignores the real world. But on the other side, you have objective testing. It throws opinion at the window and brings in performance data. It simulates the real world and actually validates what's effective. In this quote, man, it just says it all, doesn't it? The environment where we approve the work is completely divorced from the environment where the work has to perform. Smart people in quiet rooms are great for coming up with ideas, but that quiet room is not the target environment. We have to test for the highway, not for the boardroom. So all of this leads to a pretty unavoidable conclusion, a strategic imperative really. Pre-flight testing isn't just some nice-to-have step in the process. It's a fundamental part of spending money responsibly and executing a campaign that actually works. I want you to just think about this number for a second. 3 seconds. That's it. That's the estimated average time a driver's eyes will actually be on a billboard. Every single decision we make, every word, every image, every color choice, it all has to be optimized for that tiny little window. 3 seconds is all we get.
And when you really think about that 3-second window, the strategic value of getting it right becomes crystal clear. Pre-flight testing de-risks a huge media investment. It maximizes your return on creative because you prove it works before you launch. It totally changes the conversation internally from, well, I think, to the data shows. And at the end of the day, it's about making sure your campaign performs.
So I guess the question I want to leave you with is a simple one, but it's a really important one to ask in your own teams. The next time you're looking at an outdoor campaign, just ask yourselves, is this creative built to win an argument in the boardroom, or is it built to win a glance on the highway? And the good news is, putting a framework like this into practice isn't some abstract dream. It's actually more accessible than ever. There are specialized platforms out there designed to simulate these exact conditions and give you the data you need.
Test your outdoor ad creative for free at adcorrector.com.